And good morning, everyone. I'm Yuki Washington. Welcome to Speak Up on UPN 57.
And I'm Natasha Brown. As we gear up for the Oscars, we do want to turn the camera on the Philadelphia area, which has become a real hotspot for the film industry.
Exactly right. Films are being shot here using Philadelphia crews. There are Philadelphia directors and producers getting behind the lens, and Philly actors and actresses getting in front.
Everybody, let's do it like this. Come on. See, we could act out.
I love some Jill Scott. Reelblack Productions is one of Philly's hottest film companies, producing 5 films in the past 2 years that have been screened and awarded at film festivals around the world. And joining us is the creator of Reelblack, Mr. Mike Dennis.
Hey, thank you.
Good to see you, Mike.
How are
It's
you?
a pleasure being here.
Thank you. And also, if you want to be in pictures or behind the scenes making pictures, the Greater Philadelphia Film Office is the heart of the Philly film industry. Joining us also is Chris Brooks, the Minority Affairs Coordinator for the Greater Philadelphia Film Office.
Gentlemen, thank you again. Thank you again for joining us. Let's keep it real first, R-E-E-L.
Yeah.
What were your goals in creating Reelblack, and where do you want it to go, Mike?
Well, it started out as I'm a filmmaker by trade, but I was given the opportunity to showcase movies monthly. For the last 2 years, we've been doing that. Right now, we're at International House. So our goal is really to connect quality African-American film with audiences that are hungry to see it.
Are you in touch with Hollywood at all, or do you even need to be at this stage of the game?
Well, you know, I went to school in LA, I went to school in New York. A lot of my friends are multimillionaires. So, I mean, there's always going to be that connection, there's always going to be that desire to make it big, because that's where the money is. But I think right now, we're at a place where the technology is such that it's affordable to everyone. There's no need to be in New York or LA to be a successful filmmaker.
What's your inspiration behind your films, and how do you just come up with something? You have a dream or something, or what happens?
Oh, just to tell a good story. You know, some of the movies that I've done have been documentaries. There's a movie called Jazzy Fat Nasties in Process that aired on another station, and it won some awards about the Black Lily scene. As a result, I've done other documentaries for local musicians, Jasmine Sullivan, Kindred the Family Soul, Lady Alma. But my heart really is about narrative filmmaking. So, you know, telling stories that are about black people that are truthful and honest is really what my goal, my focus is.
Very good. Chris, you're in charge of Minority Affairs with the Film Office. Yes. Tell us what you do day in and day out in your goals, man.
Basically, there are 3 goals that I have in the position of Minority Affairs at the Film Office. One is networking, you know, keeping a base for networking here amongst our local minority filmmakers. And also dealing with the issues of getting more minorities in the union here in Philadelphia, getting them on the sets. And also putting together, I got the green light to do the first Philadelphia Black Film Festival.
Very nice.
Which we're extremely excited about.
Oh, we got a scoop here? We getting a scoop?
Hey, you're getting a scoop,
Is this
baby.
an exclusive? Okay.
Getting a scoop exclusive. But yeah, that's I'm so excited. And all of that's in motion right now as we speak. And also, I've put together the Philadelphia Minority Film Alliance, which has never been done. We'll deal with issues such as we'll be holding seminars and symposiums and Q&As and having some of our local filmmakers, mentors, kids, and have mentorship programs and things like that. But right now, totally excited about the film festival.
Why is Philly such a hot spot for films? I mean, you just talked about earlier, we were talking about Rocky wrapping up here, which of course is kind of the classic Philadelphia story and film. Other films, though? I
think, well, from a creative end, Philadelphia is just awesome. You know, you can get the city look for your exterior shots. You can get a city. You can go out and get a country shot if you need it. The buildings for period pieces is just awesome. You know, there's no other look that you're going to find in another city than Philadelphia. I'm sure Mike can attest to that as well as being a filmmaker. But and the film office works with you.
There you go. Talk to me about that aspect, Mike, being a filmmaker.
Oh, in terms of the city?
Yeah, sure.
Well, I mean, I think Night Shyamalan proved it with Sixth Sense. I mean, you get so many different looks. Like every movie that you see generally in a major studio puts out is shot in Canada or LA, and you've seen all those locales before. When you go to a place like Philadelphia, you're gonna have an opportunity to see parts of of a world that you've never seen before in a movie. And then there's so much talent here on top of that.
Exactly.
That's untapped. I mean, musical talent, acting talent,
Sure.
just filmmaking talent in general. That you know, I'm completely invested, and I completely believe that this is going to be a key element of a regional filmmaking scene that's already developing.
Let's go back a little bit. Some of the films that were done here already. One that comes to mind right away is Beloved.
Beloved. Well, it's lately, I guess in the past couple of years, Inner Shoes, Shadow Boxer, Lee Daniels, who's a Philadelphian, as you guys well know. Rocky Six just wrapped, you know about that. Shyamalan.
Oh, there's Beloved right there that we're watching.
Yeah,
Okay.
Train Ride.
Train Ride, exactly, from
Okay.
local Philadelphia filmmaker Rel Dowdell.
Then you got to mention Cuz now. Fallen. What is Fallen? Come on now.
Oh yeah,
Come on.
definitely.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
A little
Got to get
reference
Cuz in
to Cousin
there.
Denzel.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, okay, yeah, Fallen, man. Philadelphia. It's skipping my mind now. I can't believe this. Some of the later films that shot here.
What about most recently with
Snipes was here.
with Tyrese in
Oh,
Annapolis?
Annapolis.
There you go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Annapolis. Philly's hot right now. It's rated 5th now. Movie makers to top this, you know, to shoot a movie in. You can't beat it. And again, I go back to the exterior shots. If you look at like near the art museum, you know, if you shoot it right, it could be Paris.
Wow.
That's true.
You know?
That's true. That reminds me of why Annapolis was here, because they used it as if it were the academy, but obviously they couldn't, for reasons, governmental reasons, they couldn't go to Annapolis. But Girard College looks like Annapolis. There's so many different landscapes. We talked about getting our people involved, and you mentioned all the products and the things that you're doing to get our people involved. How is that coming? Are we starting to get more into the industry, both in front of the camera and behind it? How is that going from your perspective?
I think we are. I mean, of course, we still have a long way to go. But I believe in the industry as a whole right now, we are getting more involved. But we need to be more involved in power positions behind the camera, more so than being in front of it. And but locally, I think with networking, which I think was very important, because there was a disconnect when I first got here, taking over the position of Minority Affairs. And by the way, we're the only film commission that has a Minority Affairs department.
Oh, wow.
And that was very important to me. And when I got here, talking with the locals, filmmakers such as Mike D and other guys like Rel Dowdell and Shannon Newby and Robert X, you find, and Ernestine Patterson, can't forget her, I found out there was a disconnect. You know, they needed to know each other. So once that's happening now, and I'd like to think that, you know, I had something to do with that, and along with the help. And now that that's happening, they are working out. The productions are being made. They're find out what each other does, and they're working together.
What advice would both of you give to folks who are trying to get into the film industry, or what would you say?
I mean, at this point, it's just do it. I mean, the equipment is there, and it's very affordable, and there are so many different places that you can showcase your work. I mean, you can come to me. There are places on the internet if you just want to stream things. It's much easier than it was when I started, you know, 10, 15 years ago. And then just stay on top of the audience. I think the most important thing for me is making sure that audiences are there for the films, and that you use your ticket as a vote. This is the kind of movie that we want to see more of, and don't go to see the stuff that you're being marketed to as expected, that you're expected to like. You know.
Speaking of the internet, you have just show some quick.
Yeah, I mean,
DVDs.
hopefully
We got about 10 or 15 seconds.
If you got viewers, and you send me an email, miked@reelblack.com, I will send you every one of these. These are some of the best movies from last year. You got Fronters, which we'll be showing, Roll Bounce.
Roll Bounce, that was good.
Seat Filler, which Will Smith and Jada Pinkett executive produced. And if you cut away from me for a second, my own Reelblack motion picture manifesto.
And I'm being
Also
told
for
we're going to
sale.
put a link on our website so you can get to those.
And I'd also like to mention, if you'd like to get in touch with myself or the film office, it's www.film.org.
One more
Pretty
time?
simple, www.film.org.
Bingo.
It's easy.
Gentlemen, thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you both.
When we come back, we're going to talk to two women from the city's major casting company about getting into the acting side of the biz. Back in a bit.